Good afternoon. This is Tanisha Laverne Grant with BlackInAmerica.com. Super excited to bring to the platform the legendary Reggie Rock Vice Wood. How are you this afternoon?
I'm great, sis. Great to see you. How's everything?
Everything is good. Listen, swagger. First of all, aesthetically, it's breathtaking. It's so good to see. You guys, you and Gina have done amazing work. Swagger is in a league of its own. You know, I watched all but one episode last night because I was just like, I couldn't believe I spent 8 hours watching, 8 hours straight watching this series. It brought me all the way in. You know, what I enjoyed most about this series is Crystal. I know Crystal. I went to college with a lot of crystals, unfortunately. And I just want to thank you for being so delicate and telling that story.
Thank you.
And bringing that to the page, you know, like what was the determining factor to tell the story the way that you told it?
You know, without, putting anybody on blast, I've seen it.
Yeah.
And so I guess it was just something I felt like I really needed to say and deal with. And so my writing staff and I felt like we were really good in that we did, talk to experts and just really do quite a bit of research. Spoke to people in a similar predicament, and but wanted to do it in a way where it could point the way out. Might not be the perfect way to say it, but to not have anyone that's in that predicament feel like they were destined to be a victim the rest of their life. If that makes sense to you.
Reggie, I gotta tell you that this series is going to heal a lot of people. I think, you know, the Crystal narrative for me is really powerful. And watching it, I was like, oh God, how is this going to play out? You know, and I don't want to give away any spoilers. But it did serve. Where'd you go, Reggie?
I'm here. I don't know.
I don't see your face. There you go.
Okay.
I can see him now. It was definitely it was therapeutic. It was really therapeutic. And I just want to thank you and the whole team for writing Crystal the way that you did. Now, when you talk about you know, the Black Lives Matter, you know, the young men who were, you know, really standing up for themselves, you know, what was that scene like? You know, just getting.
Are you talking about like in 107 with the road trip? Yeah. You know, like I knew there were a couple of things I knew early on immediately that I wanted to deal with. And like I knew that was one that I wanted to do. And it's interesting because, you know, this is before George Floyd and Breonna, and the sad part about it is because it's been such a part of our narrative for a long time anyway, you know. But you know, I'm pops to two kids, you know.
Yeah.
You've seen my boys.
I have,
And
yeah.
you know, as a parent, you know that at some point in time, your dudes are gonna have to deal with that in their own sort of way. So I feel like so much of the inspiration from that came from a point of view of a father, from the point of view of someone who's experienced things like that. And I'm not exactly sure if I'm answering, you know, your question, but It just felt like it had to be a part
Yeah.
of, our narrative. As you know, one of my creeds with the work I do is to get the audience at the edge of their seat, and while they're leaning forward, hit them with the truth.
Ooh, you did
And
that. You
so
did
that's what I
that.
like to do.
I mean, I spent, 8 hours last night. I'm like, okay, I'll watch 3 episodes. I always commit myself to watch 3 episodes because we have to watch so much television, so much film. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, I'm going to commit. I'm going to watch the 3 episodes. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta watch this whole thing through now at
Mm,
2 o'clock in the morning. I gotta
right.
finish this. I
Yeah.
gotta finish this. So, so well done. There are so many stories in it. And another story that started in is that father-son relationship. Icon, who is still grieving the loss of his father, and still trying to figure out who he is, in the lens of his late father. And that also hit me in a big way because I just lost my father this year to
Mhm.
COVID-19.
Oh man, sorry.
Thank you so much. And one of the last things my father said to me, voicemail, was stay on your mark. Like don't let up. Don't let your foot off the gas. Keep going. The culture needs you. Don't let up. And so watching like Icon just trying to navigate his way, feeding, his father's legacy, I thought that was pretty powerful too, because we don't see a lot of conversations, about Black fathers, and how they parent. It's always, the negative, you know, trope, for lack of better words. So
Yeah.
how was it, just putting that pen to paper, and deciding like, okay, well, we have Icon, um, and he takes a big hit, so
Yeah.
it seems, right? So it
Yeah.
seems.
Um, you know, I didn't have the greatest, relationship with my father, but I was there before he passed away, a few years ago now. But, throughout my life, my father told me never say can't, and that was, maybe that was his way of articulating swagger, you know. I think it's important that, this father-son narrative, though, I think we really see it play out in front of our eyes between Ike and Jace. Not blood, father and son, but we come to see and feel that Ike needs Jace as much as Jace needs Ike,
Yeah.
and I know inherently there's something I'm exploring in that relationship that is pulled from my relationship with my father and is also pulled from my relationship with my sons. And so, while there's so many themes that we're dealing with here, fatherhood is obviously a big part of the narrative and probably a big part of like everything I do.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Congratulations, Reggie Rock Bythewood. You guys, please tune into Swagger on Apple TV October 29th. This is a must-see series. I'm telling you, you're
Mm.
going to be healed. You are going to root for, you're going to advocate. Thank you so much for watching. Again, Reggie Rock Bythewood, congratulations. You're watching Tanisha Laverne Grant on blackinamerica.com.
Thank you very much.